Yeah.
Now, Fola is with Wizkid. Fola went to meet Wizkid. He has a song with the Tunes now. He's with Buju. He's with Bella Shmurda, signed Bella Shmurda.
Yeah.
Bella Shmurda is with Wizkid. Yeah. Buju and Wizkid, definitely. Fola may be meeting. Fola has met Burna Boy at Obi's house. They were quite cordial and everything. Buju is with Burna. He likes Burna. Burna is with Wizkid. So he's a Wizkid, Buju, Burna, Bella Shmurda. Right. There's that connect. There's that connect. Yeah. Which takes me to this next topic on our screen. Afrobeat artists and cliques. Muyiwa Awuni, Tems' manager, was on a recent podcast, some days ago. And he said it openly that Afrobeat artists do have cliques. So there are cliques in the Afrobeat world. I mean, he made that kind of insinuation that there maybe he didn't, hit it, but I mean there were insinuation that Afrobeat artists, Afrobeat industry itself, does have cliques. Big Lala, do we have cliques in the Afrobeat space? And what are these cliques? Can you specify? Point blank say, you know what? There's this clique, and there's that clique, and there's the other clique.
The way you mentioned this, right? It is indeed true that there are cliques. There are, of course, the way you painted it.
Yeah.
It looks like
there's a chain.
It looks like a Venn diagram, right?
Yes.
We have a Wizkid and his camp here. We have a Burna Boy, right?
And his camp.
There are now people, when you now draw their own clique in there, they click
connect. There's a connect.
Yeah, they connect. But there are people in there who do not connect in two ways. They only connect one way. So there's actually there's that interconnectivity that's going on.
I can picture Odumodo Black wanted to.
It will be in all the events.
Wanted to go both ways. Yeah, wanted to go both ways. It's still. You are right. Multiple ways. Odumodo connects to Bado. There's a line that connects him to Bado. And that connects him to David.
In fact, if I make this a project, I say Nigerian music industry Venn diagram, you will see everybody where they connect.
Almost exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
so there's a clique.
There's just that particular thing right now where there's Odumodo on that part with Bado, giving Bado his flowers. Bado also say, Kala, my boy. He's Davido's boy. In a way, even though he was disappointed, he did not appear on the Mariah album.
Yeah.
He's also Wizkid's boy. We could tell. He's been Odumodo Black would definitely grab the chance to hail Wizkid at any given opportunity.
He held him and we responded back.
Yeah, that kind of person he is. So it means that those guys respect him. Rema 40 million naira for the pity this boy video.
I don't believe that story, but go on.
Well, that is what Odumodo Black is saying. That
he says a lot of crap on his Twitter.
Says now. Afrobeat cliques. There's the Wizkid part.
Yeah.
There's the Burna Boy part. There's your Olamide part as well.
Yeah.
What exactly is up? What's the tea about these cliques?
I think it's normal for there to be cliques. People have people they're cool with, right? It's just there's one particular clique that if you enter that clique, there's a high chance that the other clique that you're supposed to access will be hard for you. Unless you're smart about it.
What is that clique?
The Davido clique now. Most of these guys that you entered now, you see, what's his name? Zlatan, right? He's meant to be in a clique with Jago and the likes, isn't it?
Yes.
Those guys used to be cool.
Yes.
And there's also the Mali clique before. But now the Mali clique it's not with the Jago clique anymore.
It's just everything just seems to be scattered. Now
you guys should be listening and be hearing click.
Yeah.
Is that complex?
It's very complex actually. Now Rahman Jago is a Burna Boy.
Yeah. And Wiz.
Yes. Yeah. Rahman Jago is a Burna Boy and Wiz.
Yeah.
Zlatan and Rahman Jago, I really don't know what's up with.
They are not on cool terms.
So it also means that Rahman Jago may not be too cool with David. I've not really seen them that much.
You would see a Zlatan. You say a Zlatan with David, right?
Yeah.
So there are people who gravitate more towards the David side, and there are other people who gravitate towards the Wiz, Burna, and Co. If you're in the Wiz, you're automatically partially in the Burna,
Burna and Olamide.
partially in the Olamide
Olamide.
and the likes.
Mm.
You get. So of course, that's the bigger clique in all of it. So some people now they have to think wisely. Which clique do I think I have to stand the best chance?
Ruga is with the Burna.
Ruga made a, I think he made the
Ruga is with the Burna, is with the Buju, is with the Wiz.
yeah.
What's his name? Charlie Poppy now. Now, let's go Charlie Poppy.
Yeah.
At some point, Charlie Poppy and David were on the stairs in the picture, you know, vaping and smoking and everything together, and it seemed like everything was cool with them. Now, Charlie Poppy has met with Wizkid 2-3 times, was checking out the research and everything. And maybe during that meeting, now, this is my own thing, during that meeting, Wizkid was like, I'll go meet Burna now and everything. Now, Charlie Poppy has been with Burna a couple of times as well.
Yeah.
Yeah? So, Charlie Poppy is with Burna Boy. They have a song together. He's with Wizkid. He couldn't make the album, but he's with Wizkid. We know Charlie Poppy and Wizkid. Now, at the Headies Awards, it was said that Davido made Odumbodo Black to win. Now, backstage, there were reports or rumors of Charlie Poppy and Davido were far, even though they greeted each other and everything. There seemed to be, that tea. There seemed to be that rumor of.
I don't think it is. You know why?
It's too much, yeah.
All this now boils down to the 2 top guys or the 3 top guys having issues. Now, these other guys have to now work on eggshells.
It's spiraling, yeah. It's more like it's spiraling to different things. Burna Boy, Wizkid, Davido. That's beef triangle, between these guys. Is making people want to hold on to which side, and it's forming cliques.
That's why Zlatan, even though yes, you will see him with Wiz and he's fine with it, but he's firmly with Davido.
He's firmly with David, yeah. You can tell. You definitely.
But you I don't think he's cool with Burna because those issues that happen.
Yeah.
So he's firmly there, but then doesn't mean he can't roll with some of these other guys.
So he's with David.
Yeah.
He's rolling a bit with Wiz, but he's not with Burna. But Wiz and Burna are together. But so is Zlatan. So anywhere you see
the way he even talk
you get it's confusing because now if Burna Boy and Wizkid are together in a room, does it mean Zlatan is going to Baba Fan and Wizkid and then ignore Burna Boy?
I don't think he will.
Do you think Rahman Jago, and Burna Boy's relationship has further diminished the relationship between Zlatan and Burna Boy?
I think so. I think Zlatan probably feels left out. After killing them, I mean, I was team Zlatan on that song.
Yes, I know.
I used to bash Burna Boy that you be taking people's lap by, you performing it everywhere, right? But then it turns out, Zlatan, according to Zlatan, he was one who said it, that the song was already made. What's his name? Burna just called him, for that verse.
Yeah, for that verse. Yeah.
But they were cool with Jago now, and then Jago was king of legwork and all those things. And all those things were part of what makes up the song.
The song, yeah.
That's into it. But there's this connection between Jago and Burna Boy. And Zlatan, based on things that have happened, feels left out, which is fine, rightly so. He got left out. He had the babies. Burna Boy maybe made some comments he didn't like. Since then, maybe he just decided to pull away and people who appreciate what he's achieved. And
so Zlatan seems to be that guy that we talked about how if you're cool with Wizkid, you're probably cool with Olamide and Burna. But now Zlatan seems to be that guy that he's on 2 sides.
Yeah.
He's not on one side. He's firmly on one side.
Yeah.
He's cool with 2. He's not with 1. You understand?
But he's not a Pokoli.
No. Pokoli.
But you know what I feel about Pokoli? Every time I see him with David or doing anything with David, I think he's not genuine. I don't think he's genuine with David, and I think it's
who would you say Pokoli is with?
Of course, with the Wiz and Burna side. That's where his foot is fully.
You think Pokoli is on Wiz's? I've not really seen Pokoli and Wiz have that. I don't think they have that chemistry. I don't think so.
Okay, who do you think is with Burna?
Biggest bagba, biggest bubu, biggest, highest.
Yeah.
Okoli and Burna Boy, they're like bread and butter. You know,
Okay. So
Ko and
I think
Burna.
yes. I think Burna Boy is actually more accessible to these guys than the Wiz.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
that's what
of
it is.
course, of course, of course. Wizkid is Ebora. Wizkid is the other guy who
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't predict Wizkid.
I
You
think
just cannot predict it.
these people will give us work. Let's go and draw that Venn diagram. We'll not be stating
Bro,
it.
we need to draw that Venn diagram because
Yeah.
in as much as people are trying to shy away from that conversation, I like the fact that Muyiwa, creative manager, brought it, to the fore.
Yeah.
We can't deny there are cliques in this industry.
Yes.
And it just seemed like if you are with one, even before, at times, yeah, if you identify with one, the other guys, you don't even need to say you don't like them before they say they don't like you.
Mm.
Well, now what I mean is, if Mr. A associates with David, for example,
Yeah.
the guys from the other camp, they don't need Mr. A to say, oh, I'm not rolling with this. They would themselves say, oh,
Automatically,
it's
yes.
saying you that you've chosen this guy. So already, forget
Day
it.
your
Day
day.
your day.
Yeah.
Day your day. We don't
Yeah.
we don't want anything else.
It's actually
None of that.
divided, and it's not even such a big industry like that.
It's not a big industry.
Yeah.
Now how can someone navigate this whole thing? How?
It's actually
But it's
hard.
affecting us too, as Gusto. You do Wizkid, they say, oh, you'll be paid. Bah, 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 bah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he hates you from Wizkid FC.
Mhm.
You do Davido. Oh, Wizkid FC will come through and say, oh, we don't like you. You do Wizkid, Davido FC will say this thing.
Yeah.
And then there's the Burna part as well. And if we are getting this kind of stick, how much more would artists who are supposed to make collaborations and everything with this guy, how should they navigate this kind of cliques, issue in Afrobeat?
It's hard for
It's
these
tough.
artists.
Yeah.
They just have to be wise. It's asking too much for them to be wise at such a young age. Someone like Fola now, just doing his thing. He has to be very careful not to say, "Oh, I'm part of this clique," or I've. That's why I said he needs to go round before he decides to choose and say, "Oh, this is where I
When
am."
Fola went to meet Wiz,
Yeah.
there were a couple of 30 VJ guys already trying to cancel him.
And that's the wahala. All these fan bases, they have problem. And maybe that, like we said, they're one of the issues. They're one of the issues that these people would have. And Ruga, for example, now he probably not want anything to do with 30 BG because the kind of treatment he's received.
Yes, yeah.
It's even fine. Just because he's rolled with David doesn't mean he shouldn't be able to roll with the other crew.
Portable
is the
architect
of his own.
With our Wizkid, the airport, the video. And then he rolled with Wizkid in London, through Skepta and everything. And then there was a particular video I saw, some weeks ago of Portable trying to greet Davido. Davido said, you could tell that Davido, seeing the camera, didn't want to act,
Recently?
It was about 2 weeks ago, or
Really?
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago. Davido was in the car. Portable walked up to his car. He wind down and everything, and then he brought out his hand. Portable, like, Portable. I don't know if it was camera. I mean, it was like a show for the camera. Portable went to Davido's car, greeted him. Portable was not having it. Davido was not. So it was like two hands meeting, but they were not. They were not looking at each
Why
other.
did he go and greet him in the spot?
I don't know.
After all that it has been said.
Bella Shmurda and Davido, do they have a relationship?
Yes, I think they have a song together, no?
Yeah, they do.
On Davido's last album. Yeah, but they are not as tight. Yeah, they're not that. I don't think they're that tight. But yes, they do have song. They do have a song together.
Should Fola work intentionally in trying to meet Davido?
No, I think they've been in the same space. I think Davido did he co-sign him? I'm not so sure. I think I saw one time when Davido.
This matter is very dicey.
I think that was for Shode. Yeah,
this matter is very, very dicey. Now, Shode has already talked about meeting Davido, or Davido is disability and everything. Do you think a Burna will want to meet Shode? Do you think a Wiz will want to meet Shode? Because it just seemed like people around these guys will say, Burna, come. That guy don't go meet David. I beg, make they feel so. Lala, I have this theory. I kind of feel like if these guys are weary of meeting another guy who has gone to another camp, for example, I don't know how Pokole has done it. I don't know how he's been able to do it.
That's why I say every time I see him with David,
I
just don't feel it's gentle.
You don't feel it. So, so if they go and meet another camp.
Yeah.
Are they well within their right to think, oh, this guy is cool with this guy? If it comes to us, it's going to start leaking our secret, So is it a strategic thing to say, you know what, we don't want moles in our camp right now? Why would it be fair to consider them as moles, even though you've not met them one-on-one? You've only seen them with the other camp, but you're already saying these guys are moles already. Would it be fair to consider them as moles, or do you think they should give them a chance? Because that's what it's looking like right now.
Mm-hmm. The way you described it,
yeah,
they might actually see it as that. It's hard. I'm trying to see one artist who has,
and you won't blame them.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Okay, was it last week when Tems was on the live and someone said, "Oh, do you do a song? Would you do a song with David?" And he goes, if of course, if he wants,
Tems another example as well. Yeah,
you see, that was a very stylish no, but it was a yes, right? Because she's family, although she's her own clique, she doesn't play with any of this industry.
Oh, you could tell she's from Wiz. She's Team Wiz. You can tell she's. See,
of course, she's Team Wiz. She has to Team Wiz
any day, anytime.
Yeah, she has
any day, anytime. Yeah. At the Instagram
right now
that Wizkid did, you could see Tems there. Even Spinall as well.
Yeah.
DJ Spinall. Even though Spinall are there, I don't know what's up with Spinall and Tunes these days, throwing subs at each other and all of that. But you could tell that it's Team Wiz. Ashake is Team Wiz. It's clear. You know.
Think?
Bro, Ashake is Team Wizkid.
No. I think Ashake is by himself. He's been able to get that brand up by himself.
Yes.
He doesn't need to play in any of these teams. He's
Right,
a boss by himself.
Right. I get. But there's just that, it's just the relationship that, I kind of feel.
But that's the biggest thing. Anybody who's on that side of it, the leftists and the rightists. I don't know who will be leftists or rightists.
Who are we going to call the leftists and rightists right now?
Yeah, anybody is on any of these sides.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying one is leftist, one is rightist.
Yeah.
Come for me. What I'm saying is, regardless of, there's one artist that is actually the.
If you look at the Tems one, for example, Big Lala.
Who?
Tems. She had a song with Wizkid, Essence. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a case of now? I'm going to ask you: is it a case of, because I have this song with Wiz is my person, I do not want to relate that much with David, or David was the one that said, this one don't dey close to Wiz, I don't want wahala. Make sure they are there.
Don't forget that before Essence, or even before Essence came on board, there's that tweet of Davido saying, "Oh, me and Tems made magic."
Okay, bang. Yeah, we made it.
But today we never see the magic.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that, because of certain things that have happened, songs like that will not see the light of day. Or people like Tenny, for example. Tenny is family David because they're childhood friends, right?
Yeah. Tenny is David, yeah.
Team David, but of course, Tenny would like to do songs with Burna, with Wiz. Have we seen that happen?
So is Davido the factor? That is the question. Is Wizkid and Burna?
Talking about it, it makes it.
So they will almost true. I don't want wahala.
Yeah, it makes it almost true that people are not nearing Tenny, like people from those cliques. They're not nearing Tenny, are they?
No. So do they consider these guys as possible moles? Oh, if Tenny is with David, I know what wahala. I know. No, see, that one is sure that Burna Boy, anybody that
you don't touch.
Of course, we know that Burna will never ever, and it's giving this vibe with Charlie Poppy as well. That, you know what, if you want to come do this Lahore with me and everything, I beg, I don't want to allow. She hopes go meet those guys again. Because they're on our day and everything.
No, I don't think it's that deep. But we can see from the next rated, which almost cost wahala, but glad that it didn't.
Yeah.
Him and Odumodu. Odumodu is trying to play smart, but the only person he hasn't moved to is Burna, right?
Yeah.
The only person he hasn't moved to. I think the energy is too high, and they'll probably not come up with anything sonically good.
Yeah.
Even though they seem like they have similar characters, both of them.
Yeah.
And Odumodu is smart enough. He knows that he's playing Team Wiz, he's playing Team Burna.
Team David, yeah.
Publicly said anything about the
Burna Boy.
Yeah, I said Team Wiz. Yeah, Team Wiz and Team David.
David, yeah.
Burna. So that's a tricky one for him. I'm looking forward to see how that's going to go, if it will ever go. Does he need it? I don't know. He's doing well at the moment.
So are the main guys Team Wiz? I mean, I know Don Jazzy has said a lot about Wizkid, even though Wizkid came through one time and talking about like the post central influencer and everything. That didn't stop Arasta from creating that record with Wiz. Don Jazzy met with Wiz a while ago, I know, as well in his house. Um, Lala, this thing is a bit dicey, you know, because we don't know the who the would I say the repulsion is coming from. Why I say repulsion is it a case of because I've joined these guys, I'm not going to roll with this guy? Or is those guys now that are saying, because you have joined these guys, I better not come near us?
They'll give you the energy from afar.
Look at
Yeah.
it.
They'll give you the energy from afar, right? They'll tell you from afar.
If you were Wizkid, Big Lala, and I was Davido, for example, if someone comes to me, for example, you've seen pictures once, twice with me, David, now, would you want to touch anything that has to do with me, with that person? Sincerely.
I think really it depends on the person in question. If the person has undeniable talent that you know that, oh, this person is actually going to be the next big thing, right? And you just want to be part of their journey, you wouldn't mind. I think so. It just depends on the value that that person has as an artist. Now that you've seen that Fola, I mean, people like Fola, Shode has a song with Rahman Jago now. Rahman Jago is good with Burna Boy, right? And he could even, with that connection, get a feature or be featured on the song Burna Boy is featured on. Do you get?
Yeah.
But he's also been on a track with almost on the track with David with Zlatan, right?
I just remember something now. Yeah, continue.
So those kind of things depends on the value that the artist carry. But there's some certain artists, once you firmly put your foot here and say, this is me here, you are not going to see the light of day.
Yeah, definitely. And then I just remembered now, Fola, Kiss Daniel. Kiss Daniel and Wizkid. Definitely. Kiss Daniel and Wizkid. Kiss Daniel and David, they are cool. Like, he still called, David the other time. So we know Kiss Daniel and David are very cool.
Yeah.
Which I think is the reason why Kiss Daniel and Wizkid would never
be cool.
No, they will never be cool.
Yeah, but you have to be at that level that Kiss Daniel is playing. You have to be at that level that is playing. That means you can safely work in those circles regardless of anything. Do you get? So for upcoming artists, it's a war for them. They need to be wise about where they step foot in, right? But once you get to those levels where you know that you can play you can feature anybody, you can play in any team. I think that's what it is with upcoming artists. It's dancing for them, but
we need to get that Venn diagram, to be honest, because it's a lot of it. And I know the viewers will probably, some would agree with us on this, stuff, where some will say, now they mad, now don't get work, now they analyze this, but it is what it is. If you actually sit down and think about it very well, there are the bigger camps, and then there are the pawns who are used to, pawns in the game who are used to, what's the name now? To what's the name? To fight each other. Even though you mentioned Olamide at some point, Olamide is being used as a pawn, and I think Olamide is also one of the big camps.
Yes, even the big guys can be used as a pawn.
I don't get your time today. I don't have your time today. I don't have your time today, but yeah, Afrobeats and Cliques, is it good for the industry?
No, of course it's not good. It would always be there, but it doesn't mean people can't be successful with it. Just choose wisely, and then you'll be fine. Whichever place you choose to, be with, there's always a way for you there. There's a way to start on for you there. Any way you choose. So
well, to be honest, a lot of, guys, please just put your comment down below. We want to hear from you. What do you think about Afrobeats artists, the industry itself, and Cliques? Just some days ago, Big Lala and I were, discussing about this privately, but we've come to tell you right now in public. And that some days ago, Tems' manager, Muyiwa Awuni, who is popularly called I Am Donawon, who is also managing Omale, said or insinuated in a recent podcast that yes, Afrobeats does have Cliques, and he didn't see anything wrong with it, to be honest. He didn't see anything wrong with Afrobeat. It's just like in school as well. when in a class, some friends move together, some other friends move together, and everything like that. So yeah, Afrobeat artists as well, they moved and they roll together. Asake and Davido have a song together. That is a professional relationship to dream together. That is well. I kind of think that Wizkid and Asake kind of like move together. There's that
So that's what I'm
respect.
saying. That's why I said Ashake is on his own.
He's on his own level.
He's on his own,
But he
and
doesn't
it's a
have he
one
doesn't
man
have a
clique.
camp. He doesn't have a class. He doesn't have a
One man,
camp. He doesn't have a camp.
yeah,
Oh
it's a
well,
one man
even though if you roll with Asake, Sheyi Vibes fans will say, "Oh, don't come
clique.
near." But Olamide has been able to bring them together on the song right now, 99 guys. That one is out everywhere, and it is still very much banging. Now,